Welcome, everybody. This is Bruce, and today is May 12th, and we're here to talk with Ellen Sowazo about struggle and how she's going to help us with struggle. I saw an interesting thing today when I just turned on my Google, and it said, "Here's to the dreamers, doers, shakers, and makers. Happy Small Business Week." Somewhere, Ellen, I think that fits in where we're going. We're trying to help people in small business entrepreneurs. So I think we left up last time, and you had mentioned something about a Kaylin that you had helped, and we were going to pick up from there and maybe go today. How are you, by the way? Everybody, welcome, Ellen.
Hey, thank you. And better. Had a challenging morning. I'm here. So today we're gonna pick up with Kaylin's story, and what I thought about it over the week was how we can relate to Kaylin's story. Most of us have different challenges in our life, different times and different types of them, and so some of the stories you might relate to it and some might not, which is okay. But I also was thinking over the weekend about the story of a daughter asking her mother about why did she cut the ends of a ham when she makes the ham on Thanksgiving. And her answer was, I don't know, that's what I saw mother do it. My mother do it like that, so I just do it too because my mother does it like that. So the daughter didn't just took the answer. She went and she asked her grandmother. She said, Grandma, why is it that you cut the ends of the ham? And she said, well, my mother used to cut the ends of the ham because the pan was small, and so it would fit on the pan. Then they would cut the ends of the ham. So here, if you really follow the story, here's a story of ingrained habits that we have or things that we do on a continuously basis because we have seen it in our family, in our environment. People do things a certain way. So when you follow the norm, now you become norm. But if you do something out of the norm, now you might be labeled that something is wrong with you or something. I don't know what they might say about you, but but I do know something, that when you do something out of the norm, you become more successful. You feel more at peace. You feel more whole, and you don't have the same thought process that everyone else does. Your life is more empowering, and everything that you do is it's not just done out of habit. It is planned. And when you plan, usually you won't struggle as much as when you don't plan and when you don't follow the norm of what everyone else is doing. So with that story of the ham, what I'm trying to bring out for you to get the analogy of it is that most of us get so wrapped up on the way things are done. And, cutting the ham might be, you could put it as, my mother used to use the bank and just to pay her bills. Perfect example. Or instead, I used to go to the cashing place to cash my check. If you're going out of the norm, you will have a bank account and you will manage your money through the bank. Online. You don't have to, you're no longer sending mails to pay your bills. You're paying them online. And so as things change, you change it to make life easier for you so it doesn't have so much struggle in the way you live life. You make things to kind of smooth in and live a life that is more easier to take daily.
Ellen, that's the story of the ham. What other type of, beliefs that become habit do we get ingrained into us? And is there a particular age that we maybe are hearing these from the adults around us that they get locked in there, and we believe that they're true, and maybe never even think of challenging them. Is there some other ideas or thoughts like that you could share with us today?
Sure. Human psychology, it is said that children, from the moment that they are born, they're just like sponges. Even before they're born, they're already receiving information and learning from their parents and everyone that is around, because they are listening. And so children, from the moment that they are born and till the age of 6 or 7 years old, it's like the prime time that they are taking all that information, everything that they see, everything that they hear, they're taking it in, and that goes to their unconscious, because consciously they don't know what they're receiving. They're just receiving all this information. They don't know if it's good or bad, just like the universe. The universe doesn't know if it's good or bad. The universe just feels it and receives this as energy. So it just comes back to us, whether we perceive it as good, we perceive it as bad, but the universe doesn't know anything about good or bad. So children are the same way. Children don't know if it's good or bad. They just taking it in, and it goes to their subconscious. And once they start growing up, when they grow up, they start doing the same things or similar things that they saw around their environment, the parents, their school teachers, whoever they were around when they were growing up. And so they just become fruits of their environment. And so you can see the difference between the wealthy and those that don't have much and those that have a little bit. The difference is their environment, how they were brought up, what thoughts or what the conversations were around them that empower them or disempower them or help them to live a life that is more fulfilling.
That's kind of spooky to think of that. Yet, so what I'm hearing you saying is this: something like this, a belief could be multiple generations. You know, it could be something that somebody who immigrated to the U.S. 2 or 3 generations ago, people today are still living with that same belief?
Oh, sure. I know people that, and I'm sure you can relate to this. There's people that are thinking about, they came from wherever they came from to this country, and one of the things that they learn, or that their parents told them, is, you have to go to school, get a good education, get a good job that has benefits. And so a lot of them, that's exactly what they did. But at the same time, they forgot about what makes them happy. And a lot of people are struggling and living a very unhappy lives because they're not doing something that they enjoy. They're not coming from a place of service and giving. They're coming from a place of obligation, not of a place of, this is what I want to do, enjoy doing this type of work. New generation nowadays, the latest generation, is different because now they're focusing more on living a fulfilled life. They don't want to live like their parents and their grandparents. The new generation, if you pay attention, they are the ones that are shaking the economy. The entrepreneurs. There's more entrepreneurs out there, and entrepreneurs have to think different than the normal people, than people that just were brought up with that idea that get a good education, get a good job with benefits, and you'll be set. That's not where we are in the economy nowadays. Anywhere you go, you have to think outside the box. And when you think outside the box, now you find yourself that you're not gonna be like everyone else. Okay, so that's very, very important.
You know, Ellen, I read here not too long ago something by Robert Kiyosaki, who's the author of the famous book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in his book, he was talking about the 21st century and how things have changed. And he was just saying that a lot of the jobs were industrial age jobs that are never going to come back because of going into outsourcing to other countries and also to technology. So here's the case, what you're saying there is, go to school, get a good job for a particular thing, but that job may not be there anymore. So I think we all need to be sort of looking at really where they want to be down the road.
Definitely, and that's you just remind me by you saying that you just remind me of ebook that I have. That if you send me an email, I can be more than happy to give you the ebook. You know, I'll give it to you as a gift. It's called The Gift of Outsourcing, and with that book, especially for entrepreneurs, but also for anyone, because a lot of times we think that we have to do everything and we want to have control of everything. But what I have found is that we are more empowered when we delegate work, whether you are at home with your family or at work with other co-workers, or you have your own business and you hire other people to do the things that take time out of your the part that you do best. Okay, so I think that we have to focus on what makes us happy and what does your strength. Okay, what is it that you do the best, and delegate the things that you're not so good at it, because now what happens is that now you can be more productive and find more happiness with the things that you do.
Ellen, in your book, The Outsourcing, can you give me one example of maybe the one thing that maybe somebody in business should outsource? Is there one thing that sort of sticks out more than anything else when you wrote the book that you can think of?
Well, yeah, any administrative work, that's kind of tedious for entrepreneurs because we have a lot of ideas and we're more. I don't know about anyone else, but for me personally and people that I have coached before, they're good at connecting with people and making connections and networking, because that's what is an entrepreneur is always about connecting and bringing ideas into life, because the administrative work a lot of time is necessary, but it's so tedious that you want to just give it away to someone to do it for you. That's what they like to do. Another example is social media, website designing, data entry, some phone calls to your customers. Yes, you do want to connect with customers directly, but there are some calls that you can delegate as well. But those are the ones that come to me like right away.
Ellen, excuse me. I had coffee this morning with a friend of mine who's a CPA, and I got talking to him a little bit, and he was saying that, during the tax time, he works 60 to 80 hours a week. I said, really? 60 to 80? He says, yeah. I says, you must really like numbers. I says, something I couldn't do. He says he liked numbers from the time he was a little boy up, and he couldn't see himself doing anything else because he liked the numbers. And that's something I'd have to outsource because it'd drive me crazy in about 5 seconds. I'd rather go out and talk to somebody than do that. So I think that sort of holds true in many places here. So I think we're running to the end right here. We've got a couple more minutes. Do you want to sum things up a little bit today and maybe where we're going next week?
Sure. One thing that I do want to add to that last conversation, to that last sentence that I mentioned, is that you want to outsource anything that you find yourself stressed out about, and that you find yourself that is too tedious, is taking too much time of your busy schedule, of all the things that you really, really want to do and that you're good at. You want to outsource those things. I just mentioned a few of the things that you can outsource, but your job is to really sit down and find and ask yourself, okay, what things I do not want to do, or is my time, what is my time worth? Okay, so if your time, if you outsourcing and you're paying $5 to $10 or whatever the amount is that you are outsourcing per hour, that means that you have to ask yourself, is my time worth $10 or $15? Is my time worth more than that? If the answer is yes, that means that you need to delegate that work and give it to somebody so your time will be used more wisely on the things that you really love to do and that you're good at. And where we're moving next week we will move into solutions and ideas of what you can do to have a less stressful lifestyle, and how the way you think actually is the main reason why you find yourself that you're struggling. So the way you think, the perception of your life is the real reason why you find yourself that saying a lot of times that you're struggling or life is a struggle. But when you change the way you think and the way you use your words, that alone can change the whole environment for you, because the outside doesn't change. You change, and when you change, the outside changes. That's what I want to leave you with.
And I'd like to leave everybody with to take a look inside themselves and find what things you're doing in your business that frustrates you, that you hate to do, that you put off until the end. Chances are you can outsource that. And if that's so, send an email to Ellen and she will give you connection to her ebook, Gift of Outsourcing. And we thank everybody today. We'll be on the air next Monday, the 19th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.